Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you are having a fantastic Wednesday afternoon. Now, the topic of today's discussion is the immune system. And as of this morning, South Africa had 116 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. So if you or anyone you know shows any symptoms, the best thing that you can do is get tested. But in the attempt to keep viruses at bay, a really strong, healthy immune system is one of the best things that we can do to go and to survive. So we are joined now by physical therapist and trainer Cameron Aberdeen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jean.
It's always such a pleasure having you here. I feel like you are family.
Thank you.
Cam, I think we are all panicking at this stage, and we shouldn't be. But in terms of staying at home, doing our little, self-isolations and, social distancing, we are at home, we're still looking after our loved ones, we still need to prepare food. What is the best way for us to stay safe within the food around us, the food prep in our fridges, and also when we order food in from outside?
Okay, so if we're talking about how we should be preparing our food.
Yeah.
Now, according to research, the virus can stay on certain surfaces longer than others.
Yeah.
Steel, plastic, wood, etc. So I would encourage everyone to constantly sanitize and wipe down surfaces, especially the surfaces that they're preparing their food on.
Yeah.
Washing hands before, during, and after preparing and touching certain foods.
That should be practiced
anyway.
anyway.
Should be practiced anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just basically reiterating what people already know about common hygiene.
Exactly.
And just maybe enforcing it a little bit more than they normally would. For example, dropping something on the floor, the 15-second rule doesn't work yet. You got to toss it.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's just being very mindful of what you're touching, what you should be cleaning afterwards, and keeping your family safe.
Yeah, there was actually a meme yesterday saying, now that we've figured out how to wash our hands properly, we're going to go into blocks and colours next. Because it's basic hygiene that we should be
100%.
exercising. Whether or not there's coronaviruses, we should just be, handling it. Then when we get food in from outside places, so what I've been doing, I've been having my groceries delivered to my house, and then sometimes, you get food delivered. How can we exercise caution then?
Okay, so first of all, it's going to be the responsibility of the people preparing the food. Yeah. Now, food workers should be obviously sanitizing, washing their hands while they're preparing, making sure they're practicing hygiene in terms of cough, sneeze, etc. So just basically taking into account everyone else that they're going to be serving the food to.
Sure.
In these restaurants or whatever the case may be, restaurant owners should actually be providing education, knowledge about the virus and about prevention, what the workers should be doing to.
And they
keep
do
it
know that
sanitary.
information. Hey, like health departments, I'm sure.
Everyone
go to those
does. I mean, there should be. It's not anything that they shouldn't be already enforcing in terms of hygiene, because that's the food industry.
Exactly.
So with that being said, you want to order your food from places that you're kind of comfortable with in terms of what their hygiene standards may be. So you wouldn't just necessarily order from a random place you've never tried before.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that regard, shouldn't be too much to worry about, because coronavirus cannot survive on food, especially if it's cooked above 60 degrees, according to research.
Okay. Then there's the case of our actual bodies and our immune systems. Are there particular foods and drinks that we should be having during this time to boost our immune system? And are there things that'll actually make your immune system dive bomb?
So we want to be adding in, obviously, organic foods, a lot of organic, fresh foods. It might not be possible because obviously we can't get to the shops and buy fresh produce. Yeah. But where we can, a lot of fresh foods that are high in nutrients, antioxidants, things that are actually going to support your immune system, especially during this time. As much as you may not have an illness or be sick, you want to keep your immunity as high as possible.
Yeah. Do you have any examples? Like for me, for example, and I do this like religiously all the time. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I have a lemon water. So a parboiled, because I can't handle the boiling, but parboiled water with a full lemon squeezed in there. And then I like to do a ginger shot. And then I have more lemon juice afterwards, because I can't handle the ginger shot. But is that really doing something good for my body?
Okay, so in terms of citrus, we all know that citrus is if you're talking immunity, citrus is very high in vitamin C. Okay. So that's the type of foods you want to be adding in. Citrus fruits like your grapefruits, your oranges, clementines, etc. Apart from that, there are other foods that we should be considering. Like, for example, a red bell pepper has twice the amount of vitamin C as standard citrus fruit.
Seriously? Only the red one?
Only the red one, to my knowledge. And then something like broccoli as well, high in vitamins A, C, E, all necessary to boost immunity.
Garlic, legit. That's still good
100%. Garlic, ginger, you want to add those into your meals as well, just to boost your immunity. And then what you probably didn't think of is adding in extra fat to your diet. So something along the lines of coconut oil. Now, coconut oil
oil, I feel, just saves everything.
I mean, you've seen the memes.
Yeah.
So coconut oil is actually, according to research, an immunomodulator, which means that it can help increase or improve your immunity as well within reasonable amounts. I'm not saying go and eat coconut oil out the tub now, but things like that. Almonds as well, also very high in vitamin E, A.
Speaking about that though, do you know that I did this thing for a while called coconut pulling? And so what you do is you take like just less than a tablespoon of coconut, you put it in your mouth, and I was doing it like the duration of my shower, is just kind of gargling it. And what it does is it apparently takes all the germs out of your mouth. And like cleans your teeth whiter than white. Bing! So
well, I mean, it's obvious. It's been working, if that's okay.
Green tea, still good for you. Caffeine still, coffee caffeine kind of thing still down, and green tea is up.
100%. In this case, green tea is extremely high in antioxidants. So something to add in as well. Various, what can we say?
It's just good for you.
It's just good for you.
Cam, something else that I really need to know, because I've been seeing there's a lot of conversations going on online at the moment. How safe is it for you to go to gyms? Okay,
so ideally in this case, we want to be avoiding densely populated areas. A gym would usually be the case. So with that regard, I would advise probably staying away from a gym. Doesn't mean you have to stop exercising if you are still healthy. But in the case that
and saunas and steam baths, absolute no-go zone.
Don't want to go there. You don't want to be in that close proximity to anyone. But in terms of practicing safe hygiene in the gym, if you are, because not all gyms are closed. A lot of gyms are still open, and a lot of people are still going to gym. It's just going to be a case of, again, practicing common hygienic purposes. Always carry your sweat towel. Make sure you're wiping down surfaces before you touch them, benches, etc. The gyms often provide cleaning materials to sanitize your equipment and machines after use. And then often hand sanitizer as well can be found in the gym in some gyms.
Totally. So even wipe down your weights. Spray the weights down with some alcohol.
Wipe everything down if you've used it.
I usually need alcohol after weights, but I mean in a different way. Okay, then what about exercising if you are sick and after you are sick? When do you know when you can start training again?
Okay, so while we are recovering from illness, I would advise not training. At least not training at a very high intensity. So something, for example, like going for a walk outside is not considered high intensity training. Maybe riding a bike on the promenade, not going to do the Argus. Things like that are considered light exercise. You don't want to go into intense bouts of exercise because research shows that it actually suppresses your immune system for about up to 6 hours after your workout. So if you are training really, really hard, even if you are healthy, just expect that, because that's what happens after we train. And that's obviously putting you more at risk. Now, if you are trying to avoid that, I would suggest maybe lightening up your workouts a little bit, not going too intensely. Then, just being mindful of that.
I think it's so important, like the word mindful is just really, really important. And also what's happening now, I know a lot of parks, public pools, all of these places where you would go and exercise alternatively to a gym are now going to be closed. So I think now's a really good time to remember everything that Cam has taught you about exercising at home and stay active at home. I know there's a lot of apps and a lot of YouTube channels, or keep on staying on to Afternoon Express, where we'll bring you some exercises to do from the comfort of your very, very own lounge. Thank you so much for being here and helping us through this time of the COVID. And take care of yourself. We're going to be right back after this.